the event itself. Again, this is the Human Resources Management Certificate Program's virtual session. And this is going to be about an hour long. This is being recorded for those of you that didn't hear me earlier. So you can go back later on and watch the recording if you have questions or if you missed something. Now, again, if you do have questions for the live event, please drop them in the Q&A feature. It is at the bottom of the Zoom app. Please click it, enter your questions, and we'll get to those at the end during the Q&A section. But of course, any questions, reach out to our staff, 305-284-4000. That's our main line. I'm going to repeat it again. It's 305-284-4000. That being said, I'm just going to quickly brief over some of the things we'll cover today, which are going to be for the Human Resources Certificate Program, as well for the SHRM Certificate Program, and that does help you for the CP and SCP, and of course, we'll get into those a little bit later. As well, we're going to go ahead and cover and explore the financial and employment outlook for the human resources profession, obviously the available payment options for the program itself, and then we'll move into our Q&A section at the end. Now, for those of you that are attending live and are available to use this tuition waiver, I do suggest staying till the end, as we do have that 10% tuition fee waiver available to those that attend. And we'll, again, talk about that a little bit more. So when you go to register, this is up front, so you guys know beforehand. When you go to register for the course, you do, and you attended the session, you do get that 10% waiver, but you do have to call us directly. So again, my number is 305-284-3049. I can help you, or a main line, 305-284-4000. That's how you can reach us, and we'll cover that a bit more later. That being said, I'm going to introduce our panelist, Mr. John Prats. And again, Mr. John Prats, thank you so much for being here. Really, this is the person everybody wants to hear from. Mr. John Prats has all the info for the program, has that intimate knowledge. And he is a currently lead faculty member here at the University of Miami, where he teaches SHRM learning systems, employee planning, employee practice, benefits, compensations. He is SHRM certified at HRCI as well. Mr. Prats has plenty of experience under his belt, and it's really best that you guys hear from him. So, John, this is where I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to you.
Thank you, Teddy. And welcome all of you potential future students. I'm sure we will see each other again once you sign up, and we'll be able to get to know each other. Aside from some of the information that is on this bio, it seems like a long time ago since I retired from Miami-Dade County. Since then, I became the Human Resources Director at a private entity called Little Havana, and I am currently the Human Resources Director at the City of Doral. So I left government, I went into the private sector, and now I'm back into government. And I'll be glad to share that story with you at some moments. So if I may, let me just move forward on this. There we go. So talking about faculty, we have amazing teachers. Each one of them, Veronica Maristani, she usually heads off the 6 months program. Each one of us takes on a month. There are 6 modules in the 6 months, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But I'm very proud to work with these colleagues, because each one of them, Dr. Nadine Medvin, she and I worked together actually years ago outside of UM. We worked on an amazing team building project. We were hired by a company, a 4-day workshop we put together. Kevin Morris, not only is he very knowledgeable about teaching, he's a practicing attorney, and it's great. I always listen to the attorneys. I always tell people, yes, we know a lot in HR, but it's important to listen to our attorneys, listen to our corporate attorneys. So each one of these, Jessica Pacheco, Jennifer Puentes, just amazing instructors, and you're going to get a lot just from their knowledge, their experience. So what does this program, this 6 months certificate program, what does it encompass? Strategic management. You start off with strategic management. You're going to gain an understanding of the profession of HR. All the nuts and bolts, where we came from, where we are, where we are going, the strategic planning process. And you're going to have, I will also be talking about strategy, understanding environmental scanning, very important in HR, organizational design and development. Then with our attorney, Kevin Morris, legal and regulatory issues, employee and management rights, laws affecting personal practices, government mandated approaches to employee security, enforcement of policies and procedures. As I'm going through this, each one of our lecturers, because they are practitioners in the field, not only will they be able to, not only will we be able to share the academia of it, the theory behind HR, but we bring it to life by telling you actual stories that we face day in and day out. Then it's my turn. I will be teaching the employment planning and practice, which encompasses job analysis and design, which I believe is a core function of HR. We're going to talk about that a lot, how you will see it again and again. Not only will you see it in employment planning and practice, once we start into the next module of benefits and compensation, you'll see that we can't value a job. We can't determine how much a job is worth without the job analysis and design. So you will see it again and again. We will talk about how it is legally defensible, why it is so important to have equal employment practices, effective recruitment strategies. We'll spend a lot of time talking about that, employee orientation, placement, and the separation process. As I like to say, employment engagement, it doesn't just start when you are sourcing or recruiting, which sourcing and recruiting, you will learn are two different things. But it's a full employee life cycle that doesn't end. It does not end even at separation. And we will learn why it's so important to continue engaging employees. Then we'll talk about benefits and compensation, or total rewards. Well, the class even goes on to talking about sustainability and corporate social responsibility, which is so important, and how it's all tied into benefits and compensation. Insurance benefits, employee security benefits and services, incentives, and reward management. Training and organizational development. You will learn training and organizational development as strategic HR functions, designing and implementing successful competency-based training and development programs, evaluating program effectiveness, organizational development, and change management. I love training. It's probably one of, my heart is really tied to training. Employee and labor relations. I have also taught this class, but thank goodness it's being taught by our labor attorney. Employer union relation practices and activities. Many students have so many questions. Not everyone has worked with unions. I have spent a lifetime working with unions, and it is unique. There are unique experiences, nuances, and information that you really need to have to work with unions and to understand how to work with these unions. Influencing employee motivation and satisfaction, contract compliance, managing organization and union relations. So as you can see, this program really, it's from A through Z, everything you need to know about HR. Human Resources Management Online program gives you access to our Blackboard. Everything is done through Blackboard. I have come to really love and enjoy Blackboard. The interaction with the students, it's really seamless, and it's a really cool process to communicate. Flexible and is accessible around the clock, 7 days a week to fit your schedule. Employees travel. Sometimes they're on vacation and they're able to just log in and continue the communication process and continue submitting their homework assignments, which we'll talk more about that. There are deadlines. For my class, for example, the deadline is always on Sunday night. So I give you an entire week to be able to read the lectures, to come into the Zoom video um, lectures, which are optional. We do not require you to watch the video, but I like to believe that I always give some tidbits that you can use for the final exam. I like to, this is not about tricking employees. The final exam is about learning. I want to make, I'm sorry, not employees, but students. So for me, the learning environment is much more important than the actual grade. I will work with you to make sure that you learn the stuff. So you will have Zoom sessions with all of the instructors, and they're all recorded. So they are optional. If you're able to make it, if you want to make it, fine. If not, if you want to, if you have the time, if you want the extra material, you're able to come and listen to the live recording, which is what many students do. The benefits of the program, the you, it's all about the you. And I think that's why we are all here, because of what the you means. And wherever you put that certificate, certificate program on your resume, I believe it's going to stand out. I think that we all know the value of the you. When people see it, you have an education from the University of Miami, and everyone understands that to mean quality. Now, one of the things that it's not listed here, but for me, one of the greatest benefits of coming to the University of Miami is the people that you're going to meet, the networking. First, the networking with each of the instructors. Like I tell my students, once you've been in my class, you have access to me forever. You have my phone number. You're able to call me, text me on a professional or anything that you may need. I have had students of mine who have become interns, and they've gone on to get some great jobs. So there's just so many opportunities when you start talking to people. And I always tell people, I tell my students, the value of networking with each other. Many of our students are already HR professionals. They are working in other, and some are trying to get into the field. So this networking opportunity is just phenomenal. The program's real-world curriculum provides you with all the tools necessary to get the job done and help others get the job done. You are working with instructors that are currently in the business. Like I said, I am the HR director for a very important city, a local city, city of Doral. So I do this every day, and I'm able to provide you. I love to teach through stories. I think we learn through stories. And that brings the power of this program to its fullest. So I also teach, I am SHRM certified, and I teach SHRM. I spent the first week talking about, there is quite a difference. As a matter of fact, I don't know if I have handy, give me 1 second. I'm just going to show you. This is what the SHRM books, if you do sign up, you're going to get all of these books. And I like to prepare my students, because when you sign up for SHRM, you're signing up to get ready for the SHRM certification. A lot of students first take the 6 months program, especially those students that don't have a lot of HR background, to better prepare them to sit for the exam. Now, one of the things that I will show you, well, let me get through this. It's designed primarily for individuals seeking the SHRM CP or SHRM SCP certification. My students, first day of class, everyone wants to know, should I take the CP or the SCP? These are great questions, and I spend a good deal of time talking to them, giving them my own experience, which to help them decide which one or the other. It helps to expand and test your knowledge and practical real-life competencies. When you sign up for SHRM or the 6-month certification, you're also going to have access to SHRM for a whole year. So you will have a 1-year membership, but just by being part of UM. But not only do you have to, and I do strongly suggest, once you take the SHRM program, you need to read all of these books. It is a lot of reading. It is some very intensive lectures twice a week. So you need to be ready to make that commitment. And when you are, you know, because everyone knows SHRM has a 50% failure rate on the SCP, about a 30% failure rate on the, or if we turn that around and we want to say positive things, there's a 70% passing rate on the CP exam and about a 50% passing rate on the SCP, which means that many people that take this exam fail. So why do they come to UM? To have access to an experienced instructor, to be able to go through this program, read all of this. And there's also an online learning system that, that you will have the opportunity to take tests. And the instructor, I have the capacity to monitor your progress. This way I can see where the students may be falling short. And I could, so it's very important when you are taking this program to take full advantage of all of the Zoom training, the Zoom lectures that happen twice a week. It's important to take advantage of reading all of the material that is provided for you. And it is important to spend a lot of time online taking practice tests, because this starts building up your knowledge base. So competency based to provide not just knowledge, but how to apply the knowledge of the job. Well, this is one of the underlying systems of SHRM. SHRM believes, as a matter of fact, this first book, as you can see, it's called HR Competencies. It is very important: leadership and navigation, ethical practice, business acumen, consultation, critical evaluation, relationship management, global and cultural effectiveness, and communication. These are the competencies. What SHRM is telling the world is, if we certify an individual, that individual not only has the HR knowledge, but they have the competencies, because SHRM believes that without the competencies, how will you be able to deliver the HR knowledge? So the only HR certification offered by the world's largest membership organization, and SHRM is definitely on the books as the #1 worldwide organization leading HR. SHRM has made HR a profession. It helps to make you a recognized expert and a leader in HR, in the HR field, and it's recognized globally. I don't know how many of you have ever attended a SHRM conference. I try to make all of them, and it is amazing because you're surrounded usually by 30,000 participants from all over the world. People that come because SHRM is the place to learn, the place to learn about HR. Now, this is very, very important. And of course, I go into this in great detail on that first day of class with my students. But one of the things that SHRM requires, and I'm not going to spend too much time, but as you can see, in order for you to even be able to sit for the test, you need to bring, if you have a graduate degree, for example, you need to have a current role in HR and 3 years in the HR role. If you have a bachelor's degree, you need at least 1 year in HR role, 4 years in the HR role. So there are, for the different types of tests, whether you're taking the SHRM CP or the SHRM SCP. And this is important because if you don't have any experience whatsoever, and this is the reason why many students first take the 6-month certification program to really build that base, because it is important that you bring some knowledge to the table before you take this examination. So I think Teddy, that pretty much wraps things up for me. I don't know if there are any questions. I'll be around to answer questions, but I really look forward to be able to meet these students at some point once they sign up and register. And it's always a great pleasure to meet people that are passionate about HR. Thanks, Teddy.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, John. And thank you for sharing all that information. John, you shared quite a bit, and there's like some small nuanced things that I didn't know because I'm not in the HR field. So, again, I appreciate that you shared that. And we had a question, you touched on it earlier. And before we get to the Q&A, I want to just touch on it as well. Basically asking what makes the Human Resources Management Certificate program through really different? What makes it different? What makes it worth taking? And I mean, you touched on a lot of it. It's that flexibility in the scheduling. It's the resources that we provide, right? It's the quality of these instructors and training that you're getting. It's not something that we threw together. It's a course that's been through the fires and tribulations. We know we've gone through this 100 times. We've edited 100 things, right? So this is really in-depth knowledge that's direct and straight to what you need to learn. But John, thank you again for sharing that. And just to back to the screen and what you guys are seeing, the course itself, we have the two different options, right? So for those of you that are looking for the Human Resources Management Certificate, that is that holistic view on human resources, we have that course starting up in September. That does run September 21st to March 24th. Again, that's September 21st to March 24th, give or take 6 months. And that does have class time scheduled for Tuesdays and Thursdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. But you all just heard John and how that works. And the tuition itself for the program cost is $24.95, so $2,495. And what's nice is the material is included within that cost, as well as that 1 year SURE membership. So that's not anything you have to worry about. Basically, that fee covers you for most of the things you will have to need and use for the class. That's the human resources course, $24.95, starts up September. We do have the SHRM exam prep course as well, and that is our live online course. And as just to clarify, maybe I didn't cover it before, but these courses are being offered in a fully remote online format. What that means is you're just like a regular class, but you're doing your class on your smart device or phone or cell phone or what have you from the safety of your home, right? And that's to make sure that everybody's safe and able to complete the class in 6 months. So again, the SHRM certification course, it is basically that same format. That starts September 13th, runs until I believe November 3rd. And that's going to be Mondays and Wednesdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Again, twice a week, fully remote, just like the other course. But this is Mondays and Wednesdays, 6 to 9, and the tuition is $15.95, so $1,595. And again, as I mentioned, the material is included. It's not something that you need to worry about. And as well as that SHRM 1 year membership. What I will tell students that do join is make sure you fill out your paperwork. Some students forget to get that SHRM membership. So make sure you fill out the paperwork that we send you for these types of things. But as far as the course, I hope that the information you've heard and you've seen from us today is really what you were looking for and what you needed to make that commitment, to make that step. But at this point, we do want to cover more or less the payment options, right? Because the $24.95 or $15.95, the tuition costs, there's three different ways to cover that. I wanted to briefly cover it for you guys so you already know. And basically, for the courses, you can either pay in full if you have the amount. Basically, it's like shopping online. It's very simple, right? You go to the website, you make an account, you grab the course, put it in your shopping cart, and then you make your payment. So account, shopping cart, make your payment. Very simple. Although if you need help or if you get stuck, you let our staff know. And that's if you have that full payment available to you. Now, if you're looking at our payment plan, we do have payment plan options for these courses. And just so you guys have an idea, we do have examples on the website for you to see more in detail. But just to give you an idea, it's basically a deposit and then equal monthly payments during the course. That deposit is 25% of the tuition. And then the remainder is split up during the course. Basically, 1 month into the course, you'll have your first payment and it'll continue from there. Now, again, we have that on the website. We can go into more detail. If you want to speak with me directly or our staff, we can do that. But that's our second option, that in-house payment plan where it's really just a tuition and you're not paying an increased rate or anything like that. There is a $50 setup fee for that payment plan. But again, aside from the tuition and the $50 fee, That's what you're paying. It's not being increased or anything like that. So I love that payment plan option. But the third option that is available, and this is for those that are looking for a lender or somebody to assist with the payments, student loan options. These would be a private educational loan from a bank or lender. So that's going to be any private bank or lender you're comfortable with. Sometimes it is your employer as well. I know there's tuition benefits and things like that. So aside from the loans, there's third party lenders. And then there's also your employee benefits, and I mean, really whatever else is available to you. If you have something that's maybe outside of these options, let us know. We'll work with you in what ways we can, so we can get you moving forward with that class. As far as the Q&A section, that's our next section here. And we do have some of the questions rolling in. John, I'm going to feed some of these questions to you. And we'll start off with one of them that seems pretty straightforward, which is basically, do you have to be in HR or in human resources to take this sort of program or these programs?
Okay, do you, now I heard the question, it's interesting. I don't see that one specifically here.
Mhm.
Okay, so do you have to be in HR to take the certification? No. As a matter of fact, many students, I like to tell you a quick story. I love telling stories. There's a young woman that I met in this program. She came from Venezuela and she couldn't get a job. She couldn't get a job because she did not have any US experience. Through this program, actually, she leveraged this certificate on, and this leads me to the next question. So the answer is no. You do not need to have HR background in order to take the HR certification course. Once you go through a 6-month program, I think people will start seeing you as someone that is serious about getting into the field of HR, because you have committed to a 6-month program of instruction where you are, yes, you're getting a lot of information that someone is asking, how does it differ from SHRM or the Miami-Dade College? Well, I think Miami-Dade College is an excellent institution, but I will leave it up to each of our listeners when we ask. I mean, I don't know. I think we're both wearing, Teddy, we're both wearing the same logo. And I think people just see this logo, whether we're talking football or we're talking anything else, and people just understand that it has a certain value. Heck, it cost me a lot of money to send my daughter to UM. Why did she go there? And, because it's a great university. So I think that's, and then why do people go to these private universities that are so expensive? Well, one other reason besides the quality education is because of the friendships that they're going to make. You're going to surround yourself by a group of people and now you can call yourself an alumnus of this institution, and that means something, and it means something to employers as well. So the next question, if I may, Teddy, it also says, if I already have the HRM certification, do I have to recertify? Well, no, the HRM certification does not require you to recertify. Now, in this case, this person is saying that they went through a program at Miami-Dade College back in 2009. Well, first of all, I congratulate you for having gone through a program, because education is amazing. Again, why would you, if you took that program, why would you want to come through our program? Well, it's now 2021. A lot has changed. There's a lot of new information. HR, if ask any practitioner, just since we've had 2 presidents, if we just look back 2 years, a lot has changed. So much changes, even with COVID-19, so much new information and how to handle things. So do you want to show that you have been educated from the University of Miami, that you have fresh information? That would be one reason to do it.
Perfect. And John, I have another question here, aside from those, which and before I get to that question, actually, I see
Sure.
someone asked about the format. The format, as a reminder, is fully remote or online. So it's you're not physically coming into class. Everything is fully remote or online for this fall term. But the question that I have here, aside from that one, is does this, the HR, the Human Resources Management Certificate, does that work for small businesses, large businesses? Is it specific, or what can you tell us about that?
Well, yes. So I personally have worked for Miami-Dade County. I retired from Miami-Dade County, which is a $7 billion has a $7 billion a year budget, uh, close to anywhere from, depending on the time of year, anywhere from 28 to 30,000 employees. Large organization. I left there and I became, after I retired, I took on the role of an HR director of one. I used to have a staff of 55 people working in HR at Miami-Dade Corrections, and now it was me and an assistant. Well, the HR laws, how you handle the family medical leave, the ADA, workers' compensation, whether you have 30,000 employees or you have a fewer employees, you still have, it's the same knowledge. These laws, I mean, as long as you have enough employees that you're covered under the different laws. But yes, what you're going to learn, you're going to be able to use it whether you're an HR person or of one, or you have a staff of 55 people. A lot it still applies. Of course, the
Perfect,
resources
perfect.
that different companies have.
Right. And I have another question here, and this I'm gonna go ahead and answer this one. And the student asks, is there a discount for employees? And so as a reminder for those of you that are here live, there is a 10% discount for any attendee of the event today. Just let us know when you're ready to register, give us a call or email us, and we'll go ahead and apply that 10% discount. For UM employees, your discount is a little bit different. So again, for any UM employee or staff member, reach out to us directly and we'll explain how that process works. So hopefully that helps answer that question. I have another one here, John. The Zoom meetings are in addition to Tuesday and Thursday nights. Could you maybe help us clarify the scheduling so everybody's a little bit more clear on how the classes work from week to week?
Yes. So the online program used to not include Zoom. So basically, instructors would put a written lecture and the homework assignments, and the students could go in and out when at their own leisure to read the lectures and watch the PowerPoints. I put PowerPoints up, written lectures, and now we have Zoom, which we have added. So we make it very clear that the Zoom is an option. As a matter of fact, not all students, and you're not penalized for not Zooming in, right? So it is an extra. It is we're providing you with everything that we have. We're giving you written material. We're giving you the Zoom. We're giving you the PowerPoints. We're giving you a lot of information. Now it's you have a lot of option, you know, because we're all busy. We're in different time zones. I have students that are all over the place, and they do wonderfully. Some come to Zoom, some don't. Some watch the Zoom recordings. If you don't have time to watch when you can watch it later on. Everything we do is recorded, just like what we're doing right here, Teddy, is recorded. So it really is something that you are able to do on your own time. Monday starts the week. You have an entire week whenever you have the time to do your homework assignments, and they're all very doable. We're not trying to kill you. We're trying to teach you. We're trying to impart information. And one of the things that I would like to say is my homework assignments tend to be very, these are things that you could turn around tomorrow and use it. So I give you a homework assignment of the actual things that I'm doing at work, you know, whether it's creating a performance evaluation or interview questions, which we do. So yes, it's really working at your pace, as long as you
Perfect.
complete the homework assignments. every week.
Right, and just to touch on that, you do have to keep up with these schedules or deadlines for the students. There will be deadlines for these assignments, so make sure that you keep up with that deadline, because obviously you are still being graded for the course. You do have to pass with a minimum of C average or higher. So just keep that in mind. Obviously, you're paying for the course. You want to get a lot out of that because you're investing so much into it. I do have another question here, John, and I think I'm going to take this one. I think I have the numbers on hand. So someone asked about the payment plans for these courses. So for those of you interested in the Comprehensive Human Resources Management Certificate, it more or less breaks down to $685, 685, um, as your deposit. That's, for example, today, if you wanted to join, that's what you would submit today, right? And then once the course starts, you have monthly payments of $310. That is a monthly payment. Basically, you just go into the system, make that payment. Very simple. For the SHRM course, it's a shorter course, and that comes down to two payments. Typically, it's $415 as a deposit. So that's today. And then 1 month into the course, you have a payment of 1,230. Basically, lets you break it up into two payments. And those are on the website. And again, if you guys have questions, want to look at those specifically, we can send examples. Again, they're on the site, but I can walk you through that. I do have another question here, which basically asks the question as, so I'm in the medical field. Is this course related specifically to medical human resources, or is it more broad? And that one's for you, John.
Okay, so I'm going to answer this question. I shared with you that after I retired, I went to work. I went to work for a not-for-profit, and we were, of course, um, we dealt with medical because we dealt with ACA, the Agency for Healthcare Administration, and a lot of what we cover here, whether you're working in the medical field or you're working for a law firm, you're working for government or you're working for the private sector, what you're going to learn here applies across the board to everyone. So, I mean, there are just
Perfect.
some extra regulations in the medical fields, like I mentioned, ACA, which I happen to love because Florida has what we call level 2. Not every state has it, but Florida has many laws depending on the type of work that you're going to do, whether you're going to be working with the elderly or you're going to be working in the medical profession or with children. You need to pass a level 2 background. And I love that aspect of working in the medical field because everyone has to have their fingerprints taken. And we'll talk more about that once you're in the class.
Amazing. And I do have another one here. This is more relating to the SHRM course, the SHRM exam prep course. And it basically revolves around SHRM itself. Is something that's for Florida? Is it statewide? Is it nationwide? And what is SHRM? Can you maybe give us a little bit more details on that?
Okay, so I am also certified as an SPHR, Senior Professional in Human Resources. And people ask all the time, which certification is better, SPHR or SHRM? I think SHRM has just done such an amazing job as a lobbyist, lobbying our government about HR issues. They are really center stage when it comes to HR. So the Society for Human Resources Management is a worldwide organization. Like I said before, when I attend a conference, you're surrounded by 30,000. Imagine 30,000 people in a convention center, and they're all HR professionals from Africa, from China, from all over the world. Some of them have interpreters. What the conference is being translated. So SHRM is an organization that that actually certifies the SHRM, whether you have the SHRM CP, and it is nationally recognized. That's why the statistics are national statistics. There's a 50% failure rate, and I tell that to my students because I want them to pass this test. I don't want to sugarcoat this. That if 50% of people are failing, okay, there's a reason for that. And we talk about these reasons. So this is the reason why you need to take this program. This is the reason why you need to really prepare yourself and read all of the materials. So SHRM is recognized nationally, different than the other certification, which has global designations. SHRM does not, because SHRM believes that we're all in a global environment. So when you take the SHRM certification, you will there's a heavy emphasis on the global aspects of human resources.
Amazing. And yeah, exactly that. And thank you for answering the question. It's not very specific to this even county or city. It's a much global view on things. And I think that makes sense. And for that, again, I want to draw everybody's eyes back to the screen. If you do have additional questions, or maybe we didn't get to your question, please reach out to our staff. Samuel Christoph, he's the enrollment advisor for the Human Resources Management programs. His phone number is 305-284-8841, and his email is jx. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the wrong email. Well, you can email me and you can reach out as well. Samuel, just give him a call. I'll give you guys my phone number and my email so you can write it down if needed. Again, my name is Teddy, and you can reach out to me directly at 305-284-3049. And my email is txb426@miami.edu. I'll repeat those again. My name is Teddy. You can reach me at 305-284-3049. And my email is txb426@miami.edu. And somebody, once you guys are in the course, once you're going full-fledged in the program, somebody you'll be very intimate friends with is Tori Anderson. She's our program manager. So if you do have questions, you can reach out to her directly as well, which is 305-284-4881 and TEA31@miami.edu. Now, those of you that are here, I want to say again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining. As a reminder, those that are here live do receive that 10% tuition fee waiver. So when you are ready to join, basically all you have to do, it is very simple. Create your account on our website, and our website's here at the bottom, continue.miami.edu/HR. You can create your account and then just give us a call, give me a call, give our staff a call. Here's our main line, 305-284-4000, or you can email us at opa@miami.edu. That way we can go ahead and apply that discount before you make your payment and fully register. Again, if you guys do have questions, reach out to us directly. And I do want to make a note that there will be a short survey sent at the end of this event. So keep an eye out. We do want to hear feedback from you guys, any thoughts, anything else we may have missed, or any improvements you guys may suggest. But again, I want to say thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Thank you, John, for being here. And for all the members that helped put this together, thank you all for your hard work. And for your students out there, I hope to see you guys very soon in our course, and we'll be in touch. Have a good one.
Thank you, Teddy.